Hi guys, I'm back with another card, but this time I've gone back to my roots. I like vintage style cards, and I thought with Mother's Day coming up, well, it's in a couple of months, but you can never be too early. So decided to grab some cardboard with corrugate in it and trying my hardest to remove the top layer there. Eventually got it down. I used a toothbrush in the end just to get rid of the little bits, and cutting it down now to about 4.5 by 3.5 inches. I will rip that up to give it a distressed sort of look later on. So I'm just cutting it out there with the scissors. I use that trimmer for chipboard and substrates like this just so I don't have to worry about damaging my other trimmers blade. So just sponging on some titanium white acrylic paint, and this it soaks it up. The cardboard soaks it up, so you need to put a few layers on. I want it to be like really bright white. So now taking one of the layers and adding some mint green acrylic paint to it, and I'm just adding it in dabs, just painting it on with dabs, just so that I've got a bit of texture there. So that's all I'm doing here. It's just outlining. I didn't have any, I don't have many pretty colours cardstock that I like. So this is one way in which you can create your own. So I've taken some tissue paper and decided to ink this stamp on it. Not a big fan of it. She looks a bit harsh. If you're going to use it as a Mother's Day stamp, I think that was sort of, yeah, I'm not real fond of it. So what I ended up doing is colouring this one with some distressed oxide ink, walnut stain, I think that one is, and it shows the creases in it as well, which I like. It's vintage. So then I decided that it needed a bit more texture, so added some water to it. Just spritzed it on and then dripped it on to see what it came up like. And got it a bit too wet, so then had to take forever to dry it. Well, it doesn't take that long. It's tissue paper. But anyway, I did that. Dried it. And I like that side better, I think, than the front side. Don't know which one I used. I think I tried a few different pieces. So now I decided that I might want some texture in the background. I tried it with that one and it wasn't too clear, but that's okay. I'm okay with that because I decided on another image. So I stamped that up with some white acrylic paint. I tried to use some wedding dress Memento Luxe white ink, but it wasn't the best either. So anyway, now I'm going to rip this to get at the jagged edge, and I wanted to rip straight there, so I had to work it so that I got some jagged edges. So, and then ripping the yeah, use the water and a paintbrush to go around where you want to rip it, because then you're assured of not ripping your image. And so then I go and I rip it without doing it. So I think I'm happy with that. And then add the image there like that. But she was too bright as opposed to the backgrounds. So I decided to distress that with the Prima distressing tool and then add some ink, some oxide ink to it. And I thought that top left piece was a bit too straight. So then I took my awl in a minute. Okay, I'm looking at it and seeing if I like it or not. And that's when I noticed that sort of straight edge. But I took some lace from my stash because I haven't used that in a long, long time. Cutting it off. And that end piece there just, it was, yeah, creased. I didn't want to sit down. But I ended up fixing that in the end by just wetting it and putting something on it so it dried straight. And now, well, we had to ink the edges of the layer there, that white cardstock with the paint on it. I probably could have distressed it as well, but I didn't. So here's where I glue it down now. I'm okay with the way the card's going, the layout. So just using some Aleene's Tacky glue there and sticking that bit of cardboard down. A bit crooked, but you won't notice that once the lace goes on. Now, to adhere that tissue piece, I used some matte medium, fluid matte medium. It's great for adhering tissue paper and soft pieces like napkins. And then I always go over the top of it when I do that, just to seal it in. Okay, so now the lace, I'm going to apply that with some Aleene's Tacky glue. If I had some Fabri-Tac, I would have used it. That's something similar, but I still think Aleene's Tacky is fine. Yeah, that's really bugging me, that crease in that lace. I do fix it in the end, and you'll see that in the final photos. So I wanted a sentiment on it on the front, and so I just grabbed a stamp set with Happy Mother's Day on it and inked that up. Can't remember what I used. Yeah, I think that might have been the vintage sepia, and so I decided to flag the ends of it, and then I will go ahead and ink the edges of it because it's a bit white compared to the layers on the card. But it matches in, the white of the white cardstock matches into the white on the corrugate there. You're just deciding where I'm putting it. Looking at that photo still. Yep. I grab the oil. No, I don't. Not yet. I'm going to glue this one down using Aleene's Tacky glue again. I probably could have dimensionalized it, but then it's fairly thick as it is. So I thought I'd just stick it down with some Aleene's Tacky. Here's the awl, just curling that corner so it didn't look so defined. And sticking that down again with some Aleene's Tacky glue. And I thought it wasn't quite done, but you'll see what I do to that soon. Yeah, so adding some twine to it. I wanted it underneath that photo, so thankfully it was still not quite dry that I could do that. And tying a little bow and attaching it with some Aleene's Tacky glue. Again, I could have used a glue dot, Yeah, I wanted to define the where that bow went rather than having just straight layers of the twine. So glued that down, trimmed off the edges, and that's it. I'm happy with that, and now I can put it on the card, and I dimensionalize that again and use some foam dimensional tape. And I didn't put anything on the inside of this card because I think a Mother's Day card is a good card to have your own sort of little note inside. It makes it more personal. I do end up trying to remove those strands of the twine so that it's not so in your face. So that's it, guys. I'll be back soon with something else. Who knows? Bye, guys.